In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. I knew a person who was government servant at that time. Later on, he retired with the basic pay scale 17 at the time of retirement, according to his son. Since I was having a gupshup with the son, his son told me that the father was having a cash of some fixed 50 60,000 in the pocket, along with the check which he received from somebody and had to get it encashed. It was a complete check written with all the signatures. Since he received it from someone else, on arrival from his government duty, he ate meal and he was asked to take the grandchildren to a nearby festival where there were swings for the children, amusement for the children. He did the same and took the cash and check along with him in the pocket, in the side pocket of his kameez, of his shirt. He did go there and did allow the children to enjoy the amusement. Once he came back, he was without a pocket. His pocket was picked. It was a sort of tragedy for him. He became very upset, quite naturally, quite naturally. He became very upset. He was very unhappy. He was very unhappy. Of course, he had to become very unhappy, very sad, very much repentant. He kept mourning for several weeks. Now, what was the reason behind this tragedy which occurred to him, behind this considerable amount of trouble which occurred to him? What was the reason behind it? The reason behind it was that he did not trust his home. He did not trust in the safety of his home. He did not trust in the safety of his home, although his married sons were living there as well. His daughters-in-laws were living there as well. But at least he had a room separate for him and his wife. And though there might have been there might have been incidents of petty thefts. Maybe this was the reason he took the cash and the check along with him instead of keeping it at the home, instead of leaving it at the home, instead of handing it over to his wife. Obviously, his wife is very much like everyone else's wife. Is- They are very simple people, and his wife obviously would have been very loyal to him quite naturally, and it was unthinkable. But even if there was some sort of loss, there would have been theft of 1,000, 3,000, 2,000, 5,000, and I believe that this sort of incidents would have been happening to him in that house. Incidents like that had happened to him several times, many times maybe, at their home with him. That is why he did not trust his wife, that is why he did not trust his home, the safety of his home, the trustworthiness of his wife, and he took the cash and check along with him. Or maybe he forgot to leave it at home since he arrived from the job, from the duty, ate his meal, and took the children. He was asked to take the children out. Maybe it was winter, that is why he did not take rest or whatever the reason. I don't know the very details. I am unable to recall the details, and I was not told the details. So, this sort of situation, what can we learn out of it, by the way? What is there to learn for us out of this? What is there to learn for us out of it is that we shouldn't be that much suspicious. After all, we do have to trust. Although the situation is not ideal, the situation is far from ideal in many of the houses where the combined families are living. But maybe, definitely, he had lost 1,000, a 3,000, a 5,000, a 2,000. Maybe he had lost the money like this one several times. But as for look upon, compare it with what sort of loss he made it here. Obviously, it was too big for him, and maybe the one and only incident of its type in the whole of his life. It was all because of being over cautious. It was all because of being over cautious. It is said in English that over caution is like no caution. Over caution is like no caution. We don't have to become over cautious at all. If at all we do become over cautious, it would mean that we are not taking any caution at all. And taking no caution at all, obviously, it is going to become very dangerous for us. And being too much suspicious and too much cynical approach, very negative approach. How a very negative approach actually make us suffer a big loss, a big trouble. Being cynic does not lie in our interest at all. We should not be cynical enough at all. We should not be cynical. We should not be cynical. We should not be doing it actually. Doing it is quite bad. It is quite bad. So, for us, we shouldn't be overcautious at all. No, not being overcautious at all. Thank you.